Today, we're diving into a topic that affects millions of Americans, one that has the power to build wealth or destroy lives. We're talking about credit cards and debt in America. Buckle up, because this is a story that will shock you, educate you, and maybe even change your financial future forever. Let's begin. Michael Carter had always been a hardworking guy. A 38-year-old father of two, he had a stable job as a regional manager at a logistics company in Ohio. He made a decent salary, around $75,000 a year, but like millions of Americans, he always felt like he was living paycheck to paycheck. Yet, to the outside world, Michael looked successful. He drove a brand new Ford F-150, had a well-furnished home, and his family took vacations every summer. They ate out at restaurants twice a week, his kids had the latest iPhones, and his wife, Laura, enjoyed shopping without a second thought. But what people didn't see was the mountain of debt behind the illusion. Michael had 7 credit cards. He never thought much of them at first. It started with just one card, a Visa with a $2,000 limit, which he used for emergencies. Then he got an offer for a Platinum Rewards MasterCard. It had travel perks, cashback, and a $5,000 limit. Why not, he thought. Then came the store cards, Best Buy, Macy's, Home Depot, each offering discounts and 0% APR for 6 months. It felt like free money. Until it wasn't. One day, Michael sat down to look at his finances and realized he was $42,000 in credit card debt. And that was just the credit cards. His truck had a $780 monthly payment, he still had $28,000 in student loans, and the mortgage on his house was eating up 40% of his income. The illusion of wealth had trapped him. Most Americans don't realize that credit cards aren't just financial tools, they're psychological weapons. Banks and lenders know exactly how to keep people in debt for life. Let's break it down. The minimum payment trap. Credit card companies let you pay as little as 2% of your balance each month. Sounds great, right? But if you owe $10,000 and only pay the minimum at an interest rate of 20%, it could take 27 years to pay off, while you fork over $21,000 in interest. 0% APR scams. Ever get those 0% interest for 12 months offers? They sound amazing, but if you don't pay off the full balance in time, you get hit with retroactive interest, meaning they charge you for all the interest you thought you had avoided. Psychological triggers. Ever notice why credit cards don't feel like real money? Studies show people spend up to 100% more when using credit versus cash. Swiping is painless. Handing over a $100 bill? That hurts. And banks love it. Americans owe over $1.2 trillion in credit card debt as of 2025. The average household carries $8,500 in credit card debt. It's not an accident. It's by design. Michael had fallen into every trap. And now he was drowning. Would he be able to escape? Or would he become another victim of America's debt crisis? We dive deeper into Michael's struggle and expose the dark secrets banks don't want you to know. If you've been following along, you know that Michael Carter, a hardworking American, is drowning in over $42,000 in credit card debt. But how did he get here? And more importantly, is there a way out? In part 2, we uncover the painful reality of how debt impacts lives and reveal the hidden tricks banks use to keep you trapped. Let's continue. Michael always told himself that everything was under control. I make good money, he thought. I'll pay it off eventually. But eventually never came. One evening, as he sat at his kitchen table, he opened his mail. 3 credit card bills. Bank of America Visa, minimum payment due, $340. Capital One MasterCard, minimum payment due, $290. Best Buy Store Card, minimum payment due, $180. That was over $800 in minimum payments alone, and it barely put a dent in the debt. His interest was snowballing faster than he could keep up. His wife, Laura, walked into the kitchen. Another bill? She asked, seeing the worried look on his face. He hesitated, then admitted, We're in trouble, Laura. Her face fell. How much? He sighed. $42,000 just in credit cards. Laura's hands trembled. How did we let it get this bad? That was the question haunting millions of Americans. Michael and Laura's situation wasn't unique. In fact, they were average. 80% of Americans have some form of consumer debt. The average credit card interest rate in America is around 21%, and for people with lower credit scores, it can soar past 30%. More than 60% of credit card users carry a balance from month to month, meaning they never pay off their debt in full. And here's the kicker, credit card companies don't just profit from the interest. They make billions from fees, penalties, and hidden charges that most people don't even notice. Ever wonder why credit card companies offer free travel points, cashback, and rewards? It's because they know you'll likely overspend and they'll make their money back through interest and late fees. Michael had fallen into this cycle. He had signed up for rewards cards thinking he was gaming the system, but the system had gamed him. And now his family was on the verge of financial disaster. That night, Michael couldn't sleep. His mind raced with fears of bankruptcy, losing their home, and not being able to provide for his kids. Then something changed. At 3 a.m. he got up, grabbed his laptop, and started researching. He looked up people who had escaped the debt trap. He read about strategies to take control of his finances. And for the first time, he realized something important. Banks want you to stay in debt, because if you do, they win. And that's when he made a decision. Michael wasn't going to be a victim anymore. He was going to fight back. But could he really dig himself out of this financial hole? We uncover the battle plan Michael created to escape the debt cycle, and the shocking obstacles he faced along the way. If you've been following along, you know that Michael Carter, a hardworking father drowning in $42,000 of credit card debt, has finally had a wake-up call. But knowing you need to change and actually doing it are two very different things. In part 3, we reveal Michael's battle plan to escape debt, and the harsh reality that the system is designed to make it nearly impossible. Let's continue. Michael knew he had to act fast. Every month, interest charges were eating up his paycheck, and if he kept paying just the minimums, he'd be in debt for decades. So he made a commitment to himself, to Laura, and to his kids. We're getting out of this mess, no matter what. He grabbed a notebook and wrote down his strategy. Step 1. Cut expenses ruthlessly. First, Michael and Laura sat down and faced the numbers. They listed out every single expense. What they found shocked them. They were spending $1,200 a month on eating out. Their cable and streaming subscriptions totaled $250 a month. Laura's shopping habits were adding another $400 a month to their credit cards. They had 2 car payments. Michael's truck at $780 and Laura's SUV at $540. It was a financial disaster. So they cut everything non-essential. No more restaurants. Home-cooked meals only. Canceled cable and streaming. No new clothes, gadgets, or Amazon orders. Sold Laura's SUV and bought a used Honda Civic for cash. Total savings? Over $2,000 a month. Step 2. The debt snowball versus the debt avalanche. Next, Michael had to decide how to attack his debt. The debt snowball method. Pay off the smallest debts first, gaining momentum as you clear each one. The debt avalanche method. Pay off the highest interest debt first to minimize total interest paid. Michael chose the debt snowball because he needed quick wins. He needed motivation. He listed his debts from smallest to largest and attacked the smallest one first while making minimum payments on the rest. Best Buy card. $1,500. Paid OFF in 2 months. Macy's card. $2,400. Paid OFF in 3 more months. Capital One card. $5,000. Paid OFF in 5 more months. With each victory, he felt stronger. But then, something happened that almost derailed everything. One day, Michael received a letter from his Bank of America Visa card. The interest rate on his remaining $10,000 balance had just been increased from 19% to 28%. Why? Because his credit score had dropped. Even though he was paying off debt, closing accounts had reduced his available credit, making it seem like he was a higher-risk borrower. Banks punish you for paying them back too fast. And just like that, his minimum payments skyrocketed. This was the hidden trap most Americans never see coming. Michael felt defeated. Was this system rigged? Would he ever escape? Or was he just another victim of America's debt crisis? We reveal Michael's final battle against the banks, and the shocking truth about who really profits from America's debt system. If you've been following along, you know that Michael Carter, a hardworking father of 2, is fighting his way out of $42,000 in credit card debt. But just as he starts making progress, the banks strike back, raising his interest rates and making it even harder to escape. In part 4, we uncover the truth about who really profits from America's debt system and the extreme measures Michael takes to fight back. Let's continue. Michael felt like he was being punished for doing the right thing. He had sacrificed, cut expenses, and was aggressively paying off debt. Yet his credit score had dropped and his interest rates had jumped. That's when he decided to dig deeper into the system. What he found shocked him. Banks and credit card companies make billions from interest, but that's just the beginning. They also make money from fees, penalties, and charges that most consumers don't even notice. And the biggest secret? They sell your debt. Yes, you heard that right. When you owe money, banks bundle up those debts and sell them to Wall Street investors who trade them just like stocks. These are called asset-backed securities, and they allow banks to profit from your debt twice. First from interest, then from selling the debt itself. It's a system designed to keep you poor and them rich. Michael was furious. But instead of giving up, he doubled down. Extreme measures, the final battle plan. Michael realized he had to outsmart the banks. Here's what he did. Instead of letting his interest rate skyrocket, Michael took out a personal loan with a 7% fixed interest rate and used it to pay off his highest interest credit cards. Why? Because a 7% loan is way better than a 28% credit card. This lowered his monthly payments and allowed him to pay off debt even faster. Next, Michael called his credit card companies one by one and asked them to lower his interest rates. First, they said no. But then, he used a secret strategy. I've been a customer for years, and I've received offers from other banks with lower interest rates. I'd like to stay with you, but only if you can match or beat those offers. Guess what? 2 out of 3 banks agreed to lower his rates. Michael wasn't just cutting expenses, he started making more money. He picked up freelance consulting on weekends. He sold old electronics, furniture, and anything unnecessary. He took a part-time remote gig that brought in an extra $1,500 per month. Every extra dollar went straight toward debt. Michael also hacked the system. He used 0% balance transfer cards to move high-interest debt onto interest-free accounts, giving him more time to pay them off. He signed up for a cashback debit card, meaning he earned money on everyday purchases instead of getting trapped by credit card rewards. Every decision was strategic. And finally, after 19 months of sacrifice and discipline, Michael and Laura made their final payment. They were 100% debt-free. The moment Michael and Laura saw their balance hit zero, they felt something they hadn't felt in years. Freedom. For the first time, their money belonged to them, not the banks. No more interest. No more minimum payments. No more sleepless nights. But this wasn't just about Michael. America has a debt problem. And if people don't wake up, millions will stay trapped while banks, credit card companies, and Wall Street continue making billions. We reveal the final lesson, how you can escape the debt trap and how to build real wealth for the future. Stay tuned, the lesson America needs to learn. Michael's journey wasn't just about paying off debt. It was about taking back control. He had spent years living for the banks, working hard just to hand over his paycheck in interest and minimum payments. But once he was free, he saw the truth. Debt is a tool for the rich. They use it to buy assets. Debt is a trap for the poor. It keeps them working forever. And the system wants you to stay in debt. Because if you do, banks win. Michael made a promise he would never go back. So what did he do next? The wealth-building blueprint. After breaking free from debt, Michael shifted his mindset from surviving to thriving. Here's how. Step 1. The emergency fund comes first. Michael and Laura put $10,000 in savings before doing anything else. Why? Because most Americans go into credit card debt because of unexpected expenses. A car repair, a medical bill, a home repair, these things happen. An emergency fund protects you from falling back into debt. Step 2. Invest like the wealthy. Michael used to think investing was for the rich. Now he realized that's exactly why the rich stay rich. He opened a Roth IRA and started maxing it out. He put 15% of his income into an index fund that tracks the S&P 500. He bought rental properties instead of luxury cars, and here's the best part. Because he was debt-free, he had thousands of dollars a month to invest, money that used to go to credit card companies. Step 3. Teach the next generation. Michael and Laura made sure their kids learned what they never did. No credit cards in college. No student loans. They saved up for tuition instead. No falling for easy payments. If they couldn't buy something with cash, they didn't buy it. Michael knew this wasn't just about his family. It was about changing America's mindset. Here's the bottom line. The average American household has $8,500 in credit card debt and pays thousands in interest every year. Over 60% of Americans don't have enough savings to cover a $1,000 emergency. The credit card industry makes $130 billion a year in interest and fees alone. And most people will stay in this cycle unless they wake up. Michael woke up. Will you? Michael's story isn't just one man's journey, it's a wake-up call for all of us. If you're in debt, you can escape. If you're stuck, you can break free. But the system isn't built to help you. You have to take control. You have to fight back. Because financial freedom isn't just about money, it's about owning your life. Thank you for listening to Business Stories. If this episode helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the only way to beat the system is to stop playing their game. See you next time.